sure that the Richard Childress crew have continued to make adjustments on that car as they've made pit stops, and he is running good. Right now, Mark Martin's about 4.5 seconds behind Rusty Wallace. Martin in fifth.
On top of Jeff Odine's car, looking forward at late speed, Dale Earnhardt and Mark Martin as they go around Rick Wilson.
Jimmy Hensley has run a very good race this afternoon or this evening and is in 9th position right now.
He's coming up on Jeff Bodine. His car is really not going as well as it did earlier. Ooh, tries to get a nose under coming off the turn, but it didn't quite work. And Brett Bodine is really working on Ricky Rudd up there for second place. Brett Bodine having one of his best runs this year in the Quaker State Ford. That car has been fast in a lot of races, but they've had all kind of problems, and so it's good to see Brett running up there that good this late in the race, and maybe even having a shot at winning.
Well, Ricky Rudd has spent about the last 300 laps trying to contend with Jeff. He has disposed of him, and now he looks back in his rearview mirror and says, oh my gosh, there's the other person. There's Jeff and Jimmy.
They're 8th and 9th. Jeff Bodine currently 8th. Jimmy Hensley is 9th. Hensley wants that spot, but just can't muster enough strength to get alongside.
We understand that Kyle Petty is about to come back in the race after being out for a long, long time. 145 laps, as a matter of fact.
Yep, there he drives down on the apron, looking 3 and 4. And there's our leader, Rusty Wallace.
There's Kyle Petty, who's made it back onto the racetrack. The mellow yellow Pontiac was involved in a crash here on the main straightaway quite a while ago, but now is back. Doesn't appear to be running very well. And there is Dale Jarrett, who comes back onto the racetrack and tries to pick up as many Winston Cup points as he possibly can. That car, we understand, has had transmission problems.
Had trouble on the backstretch. Ricky Rudd has crashed.
The second place car, Ricky Rudd, has crashed, and he has heavy front end damage.
And the caution flag is out.
It is
had this car moving, but left front tire's flat. We see dragging the racetrack and smoke come out of the right front. Heavy damage to that car.
Let's find out what happened as we go to the replay.
Comes off the second corner and just absolutely loses control as
Boy, we have seen that so much tonight.
Yeah.
Just no help, but coming off the second corner, the cars get loose.
We saw, let's see, Ernie Irvin did that. Now we've seen Ricky Rudd. Bobby Labonte. Dick Trickle did it. So, yes. And Rudd trying to get his car behind pit walls and off pit road because he has a lot of work to do. It
is a matter of survival. No question about that. Here at Bristol, you got to survive. Ricky Rudd has not. Rusty Wallace is on pit road for another pit stop. Jerry's there.
And right in front of Rusty's pit, there's a trail of water on where Ricky Rudd brought his car behind the wall. On our crew cam now, watching him change tires. Now left side tires going on the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac. Rusty Wallace, our leader. Left side tires bleeding the windshield. Car is down and away. And Dale Earnhardt is into the back pit. Here's John.
Richard Childress, Andy Petrie, and the crew have made major chassis adjustments all right. It looks like this time they've got the car right. It will be just a 4-tire change. Brakes already on. Left side's going on. Earnhardt throws his drink cup out as Rusty Wallace heads down the back stretch. Here comes Mark out. A quick pit stop for them. Earnhardt is down pit road, and also Lake Speed is just now pulling out.
And Jerry punches with Ricky Rudd.
Heavy damage on the front of the Tide Chevrolet. Ricky still sitting in the car. Ricky, what happened over there?
I'm not really sure what you're saying, Jerry, but I'm sure it's in reference to how I got tore up. I was getting ready. I was working a high groove, and I don't know if I hung a tire in some debris or what. I don't know if I all I know is I lost it and I was by myself, but it felt like I hung a tire into some dirt, rubber or something.
How bad is the car hurt, Ricky? What's the extent of the damage?
I'd say the car's hurt pretty bad. You know, they kept working with tires, trying to get me loosening up. The car pushed the whole time. Finally, they got me loosened up. It was a little too loose.
Take a look at the front of the car. What's left of the Tide Chevrolet pushed in pretty significantly. Gary Dehart and the crew are taking, basically trying to cut some of the sheet metal away here in the right front. As that, and one of our Kevlar noses you saw earlier in our track back has been shortened considerably. That's Eddie Dickerson, who is the fabricator, works in the R&D department, along with Gary Dehart, the crew chief, working on the right front fender. We're under caution once again for heavy impact by Ricky Rudd here at Bristol International Raceway.
A tough break for Ricky Rudd, who just may have got up, as he said, in that build-up rubber there at the high side. I don't know. Anyway, he lost it, and he spun and hit the inside retaining wall, and it's eliminated him from a win here at Bristol, Tennessee. We'll be right back. Formula One tomorrow morning. Right now, we've got the last 150 laps of the Bud 500, the top 5. Wallace, Martin, Bodine, Shepard, and Earnhardt. We're in the mountains here of northeastern Tennessee. Paul Page is in the mountains of Vancouver for a look at tomorrow's race.
Well, Bob, here in Vancouver, the Indy cars have qualified for tomorrow's Molson Indy Vancouver. And it was a spectacular final qualifying session with Scott Goodyear taking the pole in the last few minutes of qualifying in a lap that he described as hanging it all out. Starting alongside, it will be Bobby Rahal with the points leader, Nigel Mansell, alongside Paul Tracy in the second row. We'll have full coverage tomorrow here on ESPN. Now let's send you back to Bristol as the Winston Cup cars battle and Bob Jenkins.
Thank you, Paul. And a couple of guys who have not had particularly good seasons in IndyCar racing, Scott Goodyear and Bobby Rahal, will be in the front row for tomorrow's race that you can see live here on ESPN. Bobby Labonte has gotten out of the 22 car. Terry Labonte is in the machine now. Jerry's with Bobby.
And Steve Mill, one of the crew chiefs, coming over to check on Bobby. And Bobby, you climbed out of the car. A tough break for you. I understand you weren't feeling very well.
Yeah, it's maybe got a busted header. Knocked a crush panel out earlier in the door. It's got a lot of fumes in it right now. I just spun out over there. I just kind of lost it for a minute. I tell you, it's a shame, but I guess the best thing to do is to get out and let somebody drive it. It's going to finish without tearing up, because I would have tore it up. Maxwell's Ford was running all right. It just I'm aggravated at myself because it happened, but oh well.
He's able to smile. We'll let him get over and get some fluids in him, get a little oxygen here. He's awake and alert, but we'll get him cleaned out here. Some of that carbon monoxide inside the car. He was showing pretty well, guys. He was only a couple laps down in the top 15.
The car is now 16th, as a matter of fact. Jeff Gordon is running 21st, and there is a look at the rookie point standings going into this event, with Jeff on top with 233, Bobby second, Kenny Wallace third, and P.J. Jones has scored 62 points in the contest for Rookie of the Year. Pit stop summary: Rusty Wallace in first, out first. Brett Bodine second to third, Shepard third to fourth. Mark Martin, look at this, from fourth to now second, and Earnhardt stays in fifth. So we now have, again, a renewal of the Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin battle that we saw earlier tonight. Pace car comes in, the crowd rises to its feet. We are back to green. Wallace, Martin, and Brett Bodine, the first three.
10 cars in the lead lap.
Now history repeats itself. Rusty Wallace will drive away for about 10 or 15 laps. And then Mark Martin will start gaining. We'll see. Looking inside Morgan from the top of Morgan Shepherd, Sitco Ford. That's Dick Trickle in the Dirt Devil Pontiac.
Trickle is 1 lap down in 11th position.
Petty slowly going around on the end of the racetrack.
Brett Bodine, there he is in third, as Dick Trickle and Bill Elliott battle side by side. Here comes Morgan Shepherd and Dale Earnhardt past Bill.
Right now, Dale Earnhardt, 5th place with GM Goodrich Chevrolet. You know, Ned, I would think that a top 5 finish for Dale Earnhardt would be a moral victory. After qualifying 19th and having to put on the back stretch.
Yeah, I would think so. And
Obviously, he wants to win the race.
Sure.
But